One. Hey everybody, we're finally back, and this time it actually is we instead of just me saying it. So I have Archeia here. Hello, say hello.
Hello.
Okay. Who gives a different perspective? She can answer questions like, "What's it like to finish a game?" Something I
Oh
can't,
my god.
something I can't answer. So,
I
um,
believe in you.
that's one person more than normally believes in me on a stream, which is zero. But
You'll be fine.
so like today I did not bring pizza BG, but actually I did order pizza for right when the stream ends. So that'll be nice.
Wait. What do you mean you don't have pizza right now? How are you gonna survive?
I ate a piece of cheesecake.
I guess it counts. Where's your Mountain Dew?
I had some cheesecake and then some milk, and I had a cup noodle. That's a meal, right?
Oh god.
Uh,
Make sure to add some vegetables there sometime.
yeah, probably. Pizza is a vegetable. The U.S. School system has told me this. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing some easy stuff because just getting back into the swing of things. I know I've said this before because I have to be back into the swing of things. But we're moved back to Wednesday, which is nice because I have more energy on Wednesdays. So hopefully I can get on every Wednesday now. Should be Wednesday for the foreseeable future. And let me switch screens so that we can actually... We're going to show... Archeia, like, there's a lot of people in Visistella besides Archeia. He just runs it.
Uh yeah. I'm basically the well, there's two of us, but I won't tell who is the other one because I don't want them to get harassed. No, JK. Yeah, there's another person, but it's usually just me.
And so we're looking at my forest map again because it's my best looking map, so I always leave it open. Um, the two different things we're going to do today. One is I'm going to be working on that map that was really ugly that I had started and try to make it better. And I'm going to ask Archeia opinions on different things with it. Obviously, this wood was just meant to symbolize that I needed to do something down here.
Nick, your map names. It's making me cry.
Well, that's because all the ones down here are unfinished, and I just don't care.
Okay.
Because okay, you have to understand that I do incredibly weird things. For instance, if you notice, all the tile sets for the maps up here have almost nothing on them. It only has the things they need, and I'm slowly building the tile set that only has stuff that I'm using. So I make all the maps once down here. Then I figure out what tiles I used, pull them, and then remake the entire map with the new tile set. Which I think I have one for all all fantasy interiors, one for all things. So these will get bigger as I use more maps. So all these maps down here are unfinished and also going to be remade anyway. So that's why I don't bother naming them. Though I did some of them. Like, this is actually a finished one. Not really finished. I have to do a little bit more. I'm going to do... What I wanted to do was go over with a... with just, like, a... Go in with Photoshop and do most of my shadows just with a layer. And then put
Wouldn't
it
that
over the
make
top of it.
wouldn't that make the picture bigger? I mean the big. Sorry, the picture would be big, right?
Yeah, it would be pretty big, but because I would mostly be using just like not very many colors in the file, it should be able to be made pretty small.
Is the problem is mostly the file dimensions and not really the file size for stuff like this.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, because it's like depending on the file dimensions when it's loaded in the game, it's actually pretty big. So even if it's like I don't know 500 KB or something, it's actually 10
Hmm.
MB on memory or
Well,
something like that.
I will see how it interacts with it. It's so, it's so difficult to make shadows look good. with.
I mean, I agree. Usually what I do is like I make a tile set. That's all shadows, but it's like it kind of depends
I could do
on
that,
how. Yeah,
but
because you only have like AB, so you could probably put it on E or something.
so all these rounded tiles were actually ones I made. I don't know if you saw those.
Uh, yeah, I was wondering if it's like a resource or something you made.
I made them. I'm not completely done because I need like one tile high versions for areas
Mm-hmm.
like here. But it was all just me in Photoshop. Actually, on one of the streams, I think I did it, and it's not perfect, but
I mean, it looks good enough.
it looks good, so I was happy with it. And then like
Yeah,
these are I can't remember who made these. Are these the was it Panamaru who did
the,
these?
isn't it default? Pretty sure that's
No,
default.
these are not default. They're because the default ones are very square. I think it's Panamaru who did these. Yeah, because it's this set, which is hers. So
Yeah, but that's different. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the cliffs are rounder, but unless you mean like the cliff top, then yeah, it's
the
very
cliff stuff
square.
specifically, and then she didn't make a where is it? I think
A
it's down
version.
here. Didn't make any like a dirt version, so I quickly
Oh,
edited into a dirt version, which is pretty easy to do. I think a lot
yeah.
of
Oh my.
people just need to know that they can do edits even if they have no skill at all. It doesn't take a lot of art skill to do edits. It just takes time and some thinking. All right. This is
Yeah.
still like I keep looking at this and it's just so ugly. Like not even
You'll
counting
get
that
there.
it's unfinished clearly. But I don't like the
Yeah.
roof here. I was thinking of like instead of doing this, I'm on the wrong tool. Is having the walkway area go over the top here.
Mm-hmm.
The one problem I have with that though is that it feels too square on the edge. I hate having things tangent. I'm thinking like maybe pull this in one where it stops here instead, like so it doesn't.
It doesn't feel like a box, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I am just thinking as I go. I have no brain, and then I would need to do all the
I like
railings up
symmetry.
here.
Yeah, with RM, it's very hard to like make symmetry look good. Because it's like it looks so weird.
Yeah, but the problem is like any type of like buildings should there's often a lot of symmetry involved. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen a 90-degree or like a 45-degree
Diagonal.
wall, like a diagonal wall for this, which would look a whole lot better. And I could probably use it even down here, but then I'd have to make diagonal railings if I do it down there, I guess.
I mean, it should be pretty easy. You just scoot it and then like draw a line, probably.
Yeah, you probably do it. It's not that bad. You could just
Yeah,
flip with I don't think Archeia has actually looked at the project at all. Uh,
yeah, I haven't. I watched a few of your streams, but I'm really quiet, so it's like I'm a lurker. Uh, Also about Amori, I was the co-developer. Someone asked in the chat, so I basically made sure that game was made, and I did a little bit of everything in that game. Like I did some graphics editing. I also did like the programming and stuff like that. I found the people to work on it. Uh, some of them. Uh, yeah,
I getting how to do everything. I don't know if that looks better or not. Like extending the thing.
I think like you can always add some decorations there just to. Because right now it's like
Actually,
there's
maybe raise the size of this so that it's at a different level than this.
uh,
Especially if I
mhm.
could find some stairs. some like sideways stairs and have it like step up here and here. That might be
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I need to make some kind of way to indicate. I'm forgetting how to do everything again. Or I could just go up and then have it. Okay, so I went up 2, so I need to go back 2. Let me go back to having a roof on it. Though I need to find, I need better roof tiles is one of the things. I need the one, I want to be able to go like all the way up to the top. Instead of what this has.
Why not use the castle tiles?
The what?
The castle roof tiles? I
Like
think it's a auto tile. I think it's an auto tile. Right?
Like crenellations? Like this?
Yeah, those things. I don't know what they're called, to be honest.
It is crenellations. I also need to probably for this go through and I don't like.
Edit the black.
Yeah, I need to edit the black. I need to cut. Actually, the thing that I keep thinking of to do with this is just take this tile. You know what? I have time. We're here for 2 hours. I can open that tile up. Is to just erase all of the black and just have it where I can put it on a second layer and then put something under it. All right. I just need to open folder.
I also think it's a bit too tall now, like by 1 tile. Like it was fine earlier, I think.
I'm gonna keep going on making it taller and then see how it looks. Obviously, I need to raise stuff like this and raise this window. I mean, once you have the general shapes, this is also another thing I talk about a lot, is that like the most important thing to do when you're mapping at first is just to get shapes down.
Yeah.
And once your big shapes are down, you can start. I usually do like big shapes, then start doing like shaping it better, and then doing more.
In my there's this game I was working on. Well, but what I did is I made it all in 3D, like with Google 3D one, just so I can like create like a layout. I can show you a picture if you want.
All I should have to do is cut that and save. And then quickly refresh this map, and then I'm going to need to.
Maybe it's a different file.
Was I on the wrong one? I might have been on the wrong one. That's fine. I need to do it on all the ones. It wasn't on dungeon. It was on outside, exterior. Nope, wrong. I'm like having a day again. It's this one, right? Am I using the interior tile set for some reason?
Check the tile set. Like.
Yeah, I know. I just like suddenly noticed that. Yeah, why am I using interior?
Inside.
Watch everything change as I go to outside.
Is it dungeon? Isn't it dungeon?
I mean, I really think that I should have been using. Yeah, I should have been using. No? I have been using the wrong. I've been using the wrong one the entire time. Because I should have started with outside from the beginning, because now everything is on the wrong spot. Because that is the one that has the proper crenellations that don't have. That have the no black in the center.
Yeah.
I knew something was wrong. Boy. I'm having fun. That is what making RPGs is about, right? You have a lot of fun when you make a million mistakes.
Redo everything,
because you can do everything about 100 times. All right, so I need the one that's just. There we go. This one.
But this is not a hard fix. It's just a draft.
Yeah, like I said, it's all drafts, so like I don't really care that much. And in fact, it was so bad that the only thing worth keeping was the shape.
Mm. I like how
So
there's just random trees on the top. It's so funny.
yeah. All right, let's move up one and just erase everything.
How long do you think it'll take to finish this game? Legit question.
At the rate I am moving, sometime before the heat death of the universe.
My God.
I have not been moving quick. You've got to think. I started this stream over a year ago.
Well, you're
And
working on it once a week, right?
yeah,
Like,
but like the thing
there's
was, for at the beginning, I was working on it between streams, right?
Mhm.
Um, and I was doing at least a little bit of stuff between each stream, but then I kind of got sidetracked with a whole bunch of different projects, and but at the same time, like if I just sat down and did nothing but like really really do work, I think I could get the first part out by the end of this year. But the likelihood of me doing that is very low because there's just so many things going on at all times.
Yeah, there's always something happening at work. So.
Yeah, but it's also fine in the fact that like I think most of the fun of RPG Maker to me, and I know a lot of people are very different, but most of the fun to me is really just in trying to
Creating stuff.
figure out how stuff works.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never really cared if I finish a game or not. Some people do a lot, and that's cool for them. All right, my problem is that I think that my edited doors aren't on this tile set.
Oh no.
I will put in placeholders because that's the thing to do. And so that is these. So it's 1, 2, 3 from the edge to the fourth spot. How particular are you about stuff like that?
Wait,
Where
placeholder?
like if you have an interior and an exterior, about matching up like exactly where the different things should be.
Oh, you mean like the exterior matches the interior thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually very particular about that. I was just like, I want it to look like in the outside, the outside. Yeah,
Yeah, it's okay, so it should be there, I think. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and then the wall. And there's one more space, so let me make sure I'm right again. Yeah, that's correct.
I don't want one it depending on the game, but like there was this game that I worked on that had like the designer was Nyoku. I don't know if people remember him. He's the Alter Aya guy. His game was like a horror game, but it's like very based on Resident Evil, but with ghosts, the science ghosts. It's very interesting. It's like a B grade horror movie. I love it. Um, but he made this huge ass mansion, and then like he made sure the interiors are all lined up and stuff. And I was just like, wow, the dedication here.
I You did 8 jam games this year so far? That's oh man. I
I
can't
remember I
imagine.
had this phase too. Like when VXAs came out, we were joining all the jams, but our goal was just like we joined the jam, but we only work on the game on the last 3 days, so we can forget about it, and I feel bad that it's not good. like, um,
Alright, let me see. I need the railings.
was it here or?
Let me just go my tile sets and because I only let's see. I think this is why I was on a different one. Was because this is the same one I'm using for that other map. So where are the railings?
You
They're
probably have
on.
them. Yeah, they're inside.
They're on inside C. Is there a way for me to? I'm just going to make a copy. Or wait, I need to make a copy. Which one am I using? I'm using outside. So let's make a copy of outside and then just. I'm not using any of the Cannon Brew stuff, so I can replace that with inner C. And then when I bother with remaking this map, it won't matter because I'll be redoing the whole tile set anyway.
You mean tile set?
Yeah, I'm gonna be redoing the whole tile set anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I just need one that I can work with at the moment.
Yeah, it's just you were hovering on the BGM. It's just like the tile set.
This is like also there's so much stuff that's just randomly shoved into this project that I'm never going to use. Like, so for a while, so that I get them to loop correctly, I would just load whatever piece of music I was going to use as my opening into this and use the sound test to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So it has like every single song that I have used as an intro for the stream just shoved in it for no reason.
I mean, if it works, it works, you know? At least you remember.
I'm almost certain that there are actually, like, better ways I could do that, but... Let's see, I was using this one here. Also, another thing is that, like, when I'm remapping them, I pay way more attention to what layer everything is on. Because B is, like, absolutely perfect as it possibly can be. Whereas when I'm just doing this, it doesn't really matter. As long as the layers work out, which I guess really that's true also of finished product. As long as the layers all work correctly, it's fine. But I would know. I would know if it was wrong.
Mm-hmm. This is why I stopped using the editor, to be honest. Like, I just like a lot more control over how fast I can do stuff. Like, the editor right now is fine, don't get me wrong. It's just that, you know, uh, it's probably because, like, I work with teams and stuff like that, and I value speed over um, just making a thing now, I guess, because I'm older. uh, I just go like, hey, how fast can we make this map? Okay, it's too slow. I'll just make a tool to make it faster or something. Then
See,
I just
I know that I am too picky about stuff. This is another reason why it'll be very difficult for me to ever finish a game. Because I'm incredibly picky about how things are done in things that do not matter. Like, it will make no difference to the player. They would never be able to tell a difference. But just because I would know, I will do things that make no sense.
oh no, I mean like you know the layer style of RPG Maker, like um in a way, if you like, because I'm picky with my layers too, right? Because in a way, if you do it like the normal way, like you keep changing, and sometimes there's accidents with layers, at least from my experience. So I was just like, I need something that's closer to Photoshop. So I basically made like that's why I made sure that there's the tile plugin, because it's like it's closer to Photoshop, because it's like, you know how Photoshop layers are really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, with RM it's kind of like you have to click like the buttons or control tab. I don't think there's like And
I
it's also, I guess, the feel of the editor for me. It's like because like with art, right? You're used to things having to be snappy or fast. That's just like if if it's to if there's a slight delay and lag, the art as an artist, I guess I usually go like I don't like this.
that was like I'm not even using these shadows, but I had to delete this because it was bothering me because I know that that's where these two meet,
Mm-hmm.
not here. And it was just
When
so my
I
brain can read it correctly so that when I start putting other things down, I know because like for instance, the railings should go to let me get off the railings should go like to here and then connect to the wall.
uh yeah when I was still using the map editor, I was the same. Like I would erase the auto shadows even though I have a script that would erase it.
Yeah, because I'm
It's just like
using I'm using the Stella stuff, and so I just have it set to not show the shadows at
yeah,
all when I'm playing. But I'll like
yeah,
draw them in so that I like hold on this map I
just so you
drew
can
the
tell.
ones in right here to
Yeah,
help give my brain when I'm working on it that little bit of extra
def
reminder
yeah.
that it's up above. But I don't know why I just need that thing to make my brain understand what I'm looking at.
No, no, I'm the same. 'Cause for me, I erase everything and then I add like random shadows sometimes. I feel like it's one of those things that is like you want to ignore it but you can't, sort of thing. Or like the problem with the tiles, especially for a gray one like this, is that everything is the same contrast and stuff like that. So everything blends in. So the shadows help you direct your attention, I guess, what
Yeah.
I'm
Well, it's
saying.
like on this one too, talking about contrast on tiles that I feel like I'm going to sit here and pull all of these tiles that I'm using right now into Photoshop to make them like they don't look bad together. But I don't know. I feel like because this one has like a green tint, a greenish tint to it, just like a slight greenish, and this is more bluish. And
Mhm.
even if they have different contrasts, I think I would like to pull them sort of into the same colors. Maybe, and especially with stuff like this, like those two, the wall tile and this railing is such a different look. Like
It's like different.
the railing has like what a little bit like more, maybe a little reddish to it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get them like all the same, like a similar color temperature, not necessarily the same color temperature, but I think that is the correct term I'm using there.
Yeah, it's obviously made for another thing, because it's in the interior, so
Yeah.
it
Well,
the
and it's
colors
it's
are
again talking about what I was talking about earlier about how everyone should know that they can do edits themselves. They don't need someone to help to do very basic edits. Anyone can sit down and make a good edit of stuff like this. Adding paths and carpets really help look. Yeah, it depends on the area. Like this is actually one of the problems I'm having with this exterior is that there's no logical reason for there to be any kind of oh, that reminds me, I need to put the stairs back. There were stairs in the middle of this. Oh no. I need to switch the this for the normal A5. I need these stairs. I completely forgot the flow of my map for a second. All right. And there's always that moment where you realize you need to just draw something on an extra area to make the correct. Because this should be this one. There it is. That's what it is. Do I have that corner? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's no problem.
I am. I'm tired because it's the evening, and I'm certain you are tired because it is very early in the morning for you.
Yeah, it's 7:30 a.m. or something like that. It's fine. I usually wake up at 3 a.m. anyway, but it's like today I made an exception because I was lazy to get out of bed.
I normally do not get up in the morning until like I. It's probably very sad. I get up in the like very very late because I am just. I mean, I'm obviously, as you know, I'm always up to talk to people, so I try to sign out a little. I try to sign out every night at 10. It does not always work, like from work stuff, but I do my
Yeah,
best.
it's very hard to disconnect from the internet.
Yeah, it's one of those perils of working from home where you just forget to stop working. It's also, I
Mhm.
think, the peril of really liking your job, which I do. I really like working for what I do. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Our job is actually pretty nice, but thankfully, like there are moments where you kind of bash your head to the wall, but that's like that's every job.
All right. Let me know what I'm doing. I'm on the wrong layer. That's what the problem is. You know what? We are 30 minutes in. Let me very quickly, we're going to talk about one of the games. Let me put the changing scenes thing up so I can pull up the page for the first game we were going to talk about from the Touch the Stars game jam. We're going to talk about all three of the winners. And first, we're going to talk about Forest Star by Sea Phoenix, which I really did like this one. I. Oh, sorry. Oh, no. Pain. I have a cramp. My back. Okay. So, Forest Star was like a little kind of adventure game. It had a few puzzly bits to it. But for the most part, it was just finding things and using them in the right place. It had a bunch of different endings. I saw two different endings, I think. I wish I might go back and play a few of the other endings as well. But
I
overall, I
got
just.
most of
Sorry? Go ahead.
I got most of them.
I. The thing I liked about it was I thought it was just really. Like, the art is super cute.
Hmm.
And I'm assuming this is all custom. I don't think I've ever.
They look like it.
I don't think I've ever seen it before in anything else. So all this was custom. It's really simplistic. It has a very cartoony vibe, and this is another thing where I like think that people they put too much effort into like sometimes they're like to be good something has to be like super detailed, and I just really think there's a charm to being just like that's very flat looking, but at the same time, I mean, it just looks good with the rest of the style. But it was just
I mean,
like,
isn't that the reason why the Earthbound style has been gaining more traction? Because it's like
but overall, I just thought it was a really cute game. The characters were fun. The writing was cute. There was a couple of little things I remember that bothered me. I think that like some of the ground damage bothered me a little bit because it was hard to get a couple of things if you just weren't paying attention and got damaged too early, and then you're like, well, I can't go get that thing because now I don't have enough healing items, so. But I mean, it's short enough that you can just restart. It's not that big of a deal. But I enjoyed it quite a lot. Do you have any additional thoughts on it?
Well, I know what you're talking about for me, but it's like the entire premise of the game is like um getting all the what do you call this the animals, right?
Yeah.
Like like there's certain like they kind of encourage you to swap out of your party and then like get all the stuff, because I know the damage one is where the hedgehog was hiding. I remember it clearly. It's like that thing. It was the flowers, right? That could hurt you, like some flowers.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
these flowers here. So you had to get over it to get to
mhm.
the rabbit too.
Yeah. What ending did you get first? I got the
I
rabbit ending.
I think I got the rabbit ending first.
Yeah, it was just really funny because he's just like, hey, we can sell this, and then like
Yeah, actually,
unlimited food on the store.
that was exactly the ending I got. I couldn't remember exactly what happened, but it was the one where we sold it, and it was very
Yes, I was.
funny.
It was, and then there was a lot of endings, and then I think the owl makes it a museum or something like that. But yeah, it was really cute. I like the idea, but I also like it that if you're not careful, some animals will just eat the other animals. Like the crab would eat, not the crab. Like the crab would eat the starfish or something like that, or the owl would eat the mouse. So some missions become quote unquote harder.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those
But
things
yeah,
that like adventure games like normally like adventure puzzle games generally have a solution,
mm-hmm.
and where this had multiple solutions to most things and so many different ways you could go about it. Like one of my favorite adventure puzzle games is Sanitarium, which very fun
Oh, I like
game.
that.
But there's only
Yeah,
one way to solve everything in the game. You
yeah.
know.
That's the problem with the old school style adventure games, right? Like the freaking goat. Like I remember it. There was an adventure game with a goat and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's. I'm gonna get back to my game. I really enjoyed that game, though. I am glad that it was entered. Um, of the third place is where it should have been. I did like the first and second place game more, but nope, that was the wrong one. There we go, and wrong one again. There we go. Back to the actual game. I've not used OBS in a couple of months, so I might be having problems.
You'll get back to it. So.
Yeah, I'll remember how to actually use it in time to have everything go wrong again. I think I need to like switch back and get rid of some of that. I don't know if I may need to add some of that back. But I was noticing when I was putting the rails up that it looked kind of wonky with it because you'd have to put, oh no, which because the railings should be like kind of on top of that thing. I could possibly just shift click the whole thing and get rid of that border. I don't know if it actually looks good, but I'll leave it there for now.
Yeah, you can also shift fill if you want.
Oh, am I thinking things through correctly? So I just need the middle one now. Someday. Yeah, I do you have the same problem in which uh you often will say that you're going to do something at some point with the game? Like you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fix that at some point, and then there's you get to the end of whatever section you're working on, and there are 800 things that you left for at some point.
Uh, in my case, I have it's not correct, but I kind of have an OCD, quote unquote. It's not exactly OCD, but close enough. It's like if I can't fix it right now, I cannot proceed. That's my problem. Like
Oh, so you just can't move on until you have fixed it.
yeah, that's how I work. Like okay, this thing is bothering. So how I work around it, right? Is I would ask a friend, hey, I really need to get this done. But if I do it myself, I will never finish it because I would be like, it will bother the hell out of me. So I would pass it to them, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem." Because it's like it's usually minor things too. So it's like it's not hard to do or like something that doesn't require my immediate attention. So I'm like, yeah, I need help with this, and they will just do it. I was just like, thank you very much. Because it will drive me crazy if I leave it alone.
See,
Like, oh,
I have the problem that so like okay, so here's examples. This these are some puzzle rooms, and these are supposed to be statues that I just never made, so they're just sitting there still being little reeds
mm-hmm,
to push around. Also, these are completely done. I could have gone ahead and remade these maps. Um, it's like, and this map is technically completely done. I could go ahead and move it into this, but actually, actually, no, this map isn't completely done. I take that back because I need to finish. I need to adjust some stuff where because they're supposed to be. So the idea on this map is you go in here, and then there's these 3 puzzle rooms. You do the puzzle here, and there's going to be a walkway between these 2 areas where you can go up
mm-hmm.
here, do this puzzle, then you'll be able to come across here, then you can do this puzzle, and then you're going to be able to exit through. So I still need to make this doesn't have a place to put a bridge across at the moment, and a couple of little things like that. But like that's what I'm saying. It's like 95% done, and there's just like a few things I could do. Be finished with it. Move it up to where it goes. The opening cutscene is also 95% done. The what else is like almost done? Actually, I keep this. This is everything that I know that I need to do for this dungeon. And for the intro. And
Mm-hmm.
so many things are just like almost done. Almost done, but I then moved on to doing something else because my brain couldn't sit there and work. I'm having the opposite. As to where your design has a bit of OCD, mine is having ADHD. I can't focus on any one thing for long enough to finish it, and so like that's the thing I always end up with, and it's because I comment on how like what matters to me a lot of times is figuring out if I can do something or how it would be done, and because figuring out how to do something is so important to me compared to actually doing it, once I figured out how to do something, it's not interesting. And the problem with that is, which I think I need to make this one bigger this way, because otherwise I hate the little tangent there. Also, I really need to rethink about this map. It makes no sense. I just realized I designed this entire map not considering how far back this building goes. Oh no. Hold on. I mean, I can fix some of that. I mean, the thing is and this is actually one of the advantages of doing what I'm doing is all of the fantasy sections of this game are not real. They're kind of representations of memories from a long time ago. So technically, I don't have to make sure anything is correct.
It's a dream, so it's like anything goes.
Yeah, it's so like I don't have to make it perfect, but it's upsetting me a little bit that I realized I did that. All
Uh,
right.
so you know how you said like how you work is that you like you enjoy the process and stuff and like how I do a thing. Uh, the only way that I have a way to circumvent my OCD, right? Quote unquote OCD. It's like what I would do is I would make a draft of everything and like I would know what timeline they are or like there's specific houses for them specifically. So it's like when I work on them, I don't have to worry about like if I mess up my timeline or something like that, like or like another thing that I do for game jams, which is like really fun if you're working with a friend, is that you tell them just make any map you want, and I'll make a story out of it. And then it's really an interesting creative process. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't like working with other people, and it's not for the reason that some people do. It's not like some people. The thing is like they don't want to work with someone else because they don't want to give up control. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to work with other people because I don't want anyone to have to deal with my flakiness.
I mean, understandable on that. Like it feels bad when you don't finish a thing, right? Just like a lot of people help you on that. But that's my motivation too. Like, I have to finish this because the X person helped me, so it helps me focus, I guess.
Let's see. You haven't read my last two messages, but the last two tiles on each side don't match the height of the ground. Yeah, I think that was what you were talking about, like this right here, where I just put those two down. I mean, technically, none of this is correct because it's not even on the ground. This is in the air. This was just my reminder to myself that I need to put the cliff sides down here. But okay, now I know that this is supposed to go farther back, but I also don't know how I want to do that.
I mean, you can recolor the walls later to be quote unquote older, like if you want to show that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not being overly concerned about anything right now. I'm just going to keep working on the map and then fix all the mistakes later. Just like I said, I'm going to say that I'm doing it later, and then maybe I will.
Add vines.
Well, the I don't think vines would be correct for this. Because this is memories of a place at like the sort of its height, not really its height. Mostly because throughout this entire time is bad things happening in the past that this is memories of. And this was where they sort of made their last stand in a previous life. Wrath, you worked with someone else on a game. I just I know like one time someone made a plugin that I suggested, which was great. And it was actually for something I was doing, and I felt guilty because I never used it. So, like, even though it was like a generally useful plugin to other people too. So I have such a hard time with working with other people because of that. I think I was wrong. I think that it was supposed to be here. I'm having my perspective on these railings is bad. Well, see, Mike, I don't need someone else to work with to do that because I can just ask all of you. I can ask chat. None of them will disagree. Like if they want to call me out on something stupid I'm doing, I'm sure they will. Huh. I don't like it. I just something about this map I'm just hating. I think I don't like this cobblestone. Let's look at other ones, which I wasn't intending on keeping anything specific. I wonder if maybe these could look better. Grab my well, I need to switch to being on a specific layer. Though I will need the crenellations with like the inside cut out to make this look good. Let me look back at what it looks like. I think I like that better.
Yeah, it does look better.
But it's like the same thing I was talking about with this right here, is that these need to be slightly different color. They need to kind of match the gray of the floor. 92 degrees inside? Do you not have air conditioning? I couldn't live in the South without air conditioning. Alright, so I'm gonna go
How do
ahead.
you, man? I mean, especially with the computer, right? Like that's not just 92 degrees. That's gonna be like,
I have air conditioning and still think it's too hot here in the summer. Like I know I'm assuming the Philippines also gets very hot.
oh yeah. I mean, it's humid heat, right? There's no
Yeah.
escape.
Yeah, and the same thing here. It's very, very humid where I live. So like you get about 33 Celsius and up to 35 Celsius sometimes, and just obscene amounts of humidity.
Hmm.
And you don't want to go outside because it just you instantly are covered in death. Let's see, I need to edit inside, or I'm using outside. I'm forgetting what I'm doing already. All right.
I think you wanted to remove the middle, right?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to be able to have a different inside to this, which is pretty easy. It's one of the things that them do, like having the addition of that looks really interesting now, but having the addition of having why is my brain doing this, of being able to control layers. What is it doing? Why do I feel like something is wrong?
It's
Oh,
probably having an
I know exactly what happened. I have done something really dumb. I covered the entire background on layer 2 with this tile, with fill.
yeah.
Alright, now I can just go back to layer 1 and put this. Alright, that looks better. Actually, it feels like it should maybe have a different, but I don't know what I would put there. It didn't look right as it was, but now it doesn't look right either.
You can add another railing, maybe.
Yeah, it feels like maybe it should be railings instead up here, and remove the crenellations entirely. And
Mm-hmm.
then the quick deletes of stuff like that doesn't make any difference, so let's put railings up here. The problem is like you start doing the same thing everywhere, and it's I hate when I forget which tool I'm using. Is everything starts to look very similar. Hopefully. Actually, this needs to be on layer 4 because I need to have. The one thing is that when I put down the same things with the same concepts over and over again, I start knowing exactly what I can put on each layer. Because now I know all I need to put on layer 4 is those two. Don't know how I feel about that either. Do I just hate everything tonight? Is that the problem?
Um,
I
maybe
think
try.
I 100% think I know what it is that's making me angry. It's it's the wall tile. It needs to be less
Ignore
green.
it.
It needs
Ignore
to
it for a
be
bit.
less green.
Oh god.
Is
I mean, just recolor it for now.
well, let me see. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, let's just recolor it. So it needs to be
reddish.
All right. I need to open. Oh, I have the right one open. That helps. All right. So I'm trying to decide how. Like, okay, let me turn my. I like that I do so little else in Photoshop that my grid is always set correctly. All right, so I need to do some kind of adjustments. So I was thinking like, which one? How would you do this to recolor?
Color balance.
I was thinking
Or
color balance would probably be the easiest way to do it.
yeah.
And so I want to get rid of green. There we go. That's terrible. Little
I would adjust like the highness and midtones.
so hold on. Okay, so where do you think you would go with it?
Okay, so first I would make a mask. So make a folder. First, just cancel that out for now. Then make a folder for now. The Photoshop folder. Bottom right. Yeah, and then press the circle thing on the bottom right. No, the other circle thing. Yeah, and now you can go to adjustments, like on the new properties. Like
Okay.
look at the top of properties. No, no, no. Just also on the bottom right. Like see how there's a color section, right? And then just below that is adjustments. Look at your color wheel. Yeah, there. And then that's where I would pick everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
I am
yeah. So
learning how to use Photoshop correctly.
yeah, if you go down, I think it's color balance. Yeah,
Color
there you go. And
balance.
then yeah, so what happens like because of the mask, it will only affect that one layer, so you don't have to like in case you don't like the recoloring, you could just adjust that.
Huh.
So
I have never really much used masks. That's or I have, but not for doing adjustments.
yeah, I
Okay.
only do it because I don't like working destructively because like if you do so many edits, right, it gets annoying. So that's why I
Yeah,
like
I have several times done a whole lot of edits to one thing, and like, not only that, how hard is it if you need to do it to something else to remember everything you did?
yeah,
Like the exact
you can
same
just
changes.
go on. Yeah, so another thing you can do, right, is go to the rating again. There's another technique that you can use. So you know the railing house set, you can open that for a bit.
The what? Sorry.
The railing house set,
Oh
the one
yeah.
you're using. Yeah.
I
I'm
have.
gonna teach you something magical, I guess.
All right. So the railing is on inside C.
Yeah, okay, so what you want to do is just copy the railing, right?
All right.
Yeah, if you copy that, like get the one with the with the what do you call those? The cross section, the one that's facing front.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So get that and then make a new file. Just make it like 600 by 600 or something. Just trust me on this, and then paste that.
Wait, are you gonna do it where you match the colors to this?
Yes.
Yeah, I. So on the blog we put up a tutorial that Avery wrote about doing this kind of stuff to make stuff match.
Yeah, you can do that. So if you use autocolor, usually it will work.
And I
No, you just paste it. Don't worry.
well, I was gonna get rid of the.
Control V.
I was going to get rid of the white.
Oh, just click the lock button, and then you can delete it. Yeah, then just copy the wall and then paste it there. Just make sure that you increase the dimension. I guess you can use the crop tool to increase the canvas size manually.
Hmm.
Yeah, then copy the wall and try putting it there. Make sure you're on the right layer.
I like how you catch my dumb mistakes before I do. It's so
Oh,
useful.
it's
I
just a.
I need you in my head while I'm doing all of this.
And then go to like I think it was. Wait, hold on. Let me open my Photoshop. I don't remember where it was. I think it's image. Just select the wall layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just the wall layer. No, you're in the raining layer right now. You don't want that.
Oh, yep. There you go.
Okay, so go to image auto color. Yeah, see if it works. Does it not?
Huh.
Okay,
I
so it
think
doesn't. So what? Hmm?
I think I'd want to still darken it a little bit.
Oh no, just redo it again, and then this time, uh, you can just Control Z if you want. So what another thing you can do is like you can go pick a color from
I
from
just
the
want to see
tile
what some of
set.
the other ones do.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
Huh. So okay, now what were you gonna say to do the other thing you can do?
Okay, so you can zoom in on the tile set, the one that you want the color on, right? Yeah, the railing over there. Just go up, and then just eyedropper to the color that you think is like the one you want the most.
I mean, you probably want like a kind of a mid that kind of tone.
Yeah, yeah. And then what you can do is create a new layer above the wall layer and then clip it. So just make a new layer on the top of the wall. It's the paper folder. I mean the paper icon on the bottom right. You can do
Is
everything
it?
on the bottom right. Yeah, yeah,
And I need to
yeah,
learn where all the buttons are. Okay, well I have the
yeah. And then
layer.
put it above the wall layer, and then oh wait, hold on, and then press Alt, and then click
What do you mean to do?
Alt, Alt, then click
I'm missing like there's
the
a
Alt
couple of
key,
words that are clicking out of on me.
Alt key, Alt, alternate
Alt.
the one in your keyboard. Yeah, yeah, and then
Okay.
click it. Hold it and then press mouse. Your icon should change to a square if you're holding Alt.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Go
holding
into
Alt.
layer. Yeah, on the layer, hold Alt and then click. Oh my god.
No, I'm
Wait,
holding
hold on.
Alt. Okay.
Yeah, there. You see it, right?
All right,
And then
there, like
there you
that.
go. Okay, so put the color. Then just fill color. The G, I think. Yeah, just put a color. Don't worry about it. Yeah, yeah. And then put it in.
Like just
Yeah, yeah. Just put it in. And then you can change the layer. The layer. You know how it says normal?
do you want to change
Like
like
there's a drop.
the yeah, change
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah, I know. I
yeah.
your which one do you think you
Color would usually work. Yeah, color, and then you could just auto contrast again. I mean, auto color the layer behind it. No,
Yep.
not that
Yep. I
layer.
got
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yep.
Oh, that
And it should be
actually
the same.
really does
Yes.
match.
Yep. Exactly.
That's really neat. I am
Yeah.
learning
Then you could just like
things.
yeah,
Though,
you just merge it and then just copy it back. It's easier than color balance. I think
yeah,
if
I
you do
think
it
you're
this way.
correct. So the one Avery wrote, she always writes using GIMP because anyone, everyone has GIMP.
Oh
So
yeah.
but it doesn't isn't always helpful to me because I use Photoshop for everything. All right, let's.
Yeah. Also, if you want to merge all the layers, you just use Control Shift E if you want to merge everything. Oh, you can also do that. I'm all about shortcuts.
I do not know where any shortcut is. Let's see when I switch.
There you go.
It is closer, but there are still like it does look better, but I don't know. I'm trying to think
You
of
can adjust.
yeah, it needs to be adjusted just still a little bit more. I think it needs to be a hair darker than
Yeah,
the
the
railings.
reason. Yeah, but it's closer, right? So
Yeah.
it's like
And I can do the same thing with the floor and this stairs. to make them kind of match. Oh look, it's time to look at another one of the games. I can take a small break from thinking. And you can take a break from being very frustrated with me trying to use Photoshop correctly.
No, I'm not. It's just like, oh my god, what do we say wrong? Like that's my mindset usually.
Well, it's like the thing is you're like, okay, am I saying something that is hard to understand, or is he being stupid? And the answer is that I'm being stupid. All right, so our second place game from the Touch the Stars Game Jam was Buffet Night.
I love this game.
It's so good. It's by Noahs337, which he makes a lot of really cool stuff. Like every single time we do a contest, I'm never surprised to see him near the top.
Yeah, I saw his games, and they're usually high quality. And then like Buffet Night, I was like, oh my god, I love this game. I love how I've been trying to eat all the environment. It's they shake, right? And I was just like, is there a point where I can eat an NPC?
Yeah, because like that's
disappoint.
It's one of the first things when I noticed that the mayor like shakes like other things do when you. I was like, oh wait, am I gonna be able to eat him too?
Yeah, it was like, wait, I see where this is going.
Which this one is this? I believe this is also custom graphics. I don't think I've seen any. And it's also like very simplistic and very cute. The UI is very nice looking. I like the main character. I like his little tongue. Yes. So for people who didn't play this one, also I really like that the little image he made that makes it look like a Game Boy game.
Yes. Oh my god, I grew up with the Game Boy game, so I'm like, oh, this is nostalgic in a good way.
You know, back when the screen was physically impossible to see unless you had perfect lighting. The original Game Boy. The Game Boy Color was also hard to see without perfect lighting. What was the first Game Boy that had backlighting?
I think it was Game Boy Color, I think, and then Game Boy Advance.
I don't think the Game Boy Color had a backlight.
I'm pretty sure at least Game Boy Advance had it, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Advance did have a backlight, but I remember how bad it was. I remember you had like attachments with a flashlight onto the screen so you could see.
Yeah, that was really dumb.
Anyway, back to actually talking about the game. So if you hadn't played it, this one you played as the Buffet Knight, and you basically just Kirby'd things. You ate them and spit them out at other things. And it's really cutely written. And
I like how the moral of the game is like being too overambitious makes you like a monster, and I'm just like, wow. I'm glad you went with this ending.
Yeah, the secret ending for this is so good. In Japan, the Game Boy Color had backlights. Really? I did not know that.
I thought so.
In the US, the Game Boy Color did not have a backlight. So I'm super jealous that apparently in Japan, and maybe you because of that had one with a backlight.
Yeah, it was like, damn, I remember Game Boy Color had backlight. I'm not crazy. But okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, because I know I remember mine didn't. I remember playing the original Dragon Quest Monsters and just not being able to see hardly anything unless everything was perfect. But no, this the whole thing of like searching for the fabled ultimate flavor, and then at the very end of the secret ending, I'm trying not spoil it, but just consuming. I feel like that some days, I think. Where I just want to consume
everything. Yeah.
The ending reminded me of the ending of Katamari Damacy, which I really like Katamari Damacy.
I do like how in Buffet Night like gluttony can be used for good, quote unquote, and then like this one is like if you go too much, it's like okay. Also, like they even said the witch is not trustworthy. I was just like, F you, I'm gonna trust her anyway. I want ultimate power.
Yeah, it's like and like you have to find all the little secret things. I can't remember what the things you had to find were, like crystals or something.
They were like tiny stars because like you want to eat the sun, right? I think that was like the premise because like the sun
Yeah,
gives you amazing ingredients.
it was little stars, and you had to find them in various little places. Um,
Yeah, and they're all hidden.
it was it's just a fun little game, cute graphics, fun writing, fun little mechanics. It's not particularly hard because honestly, you can survive forever by just sucking things in and consuming them to
Mm-hmm.
heal. But I
I feel like it's that perfect game jam game where it's just short enough that it's amusing, but also fun enough that you kind of kill an afternoon on it. You know, I feel like it would do well in mobile for people that are just like, I'm bored. I want something short and sweet but fun.
yeah, I think also like I'm trying. I think it's also one of those games where it's perfect for. It feels like he could have made something using the things he learned how to do in this one,
Mm-hmm.
because the whole thing of like basically said it, he does the Kirby mechanics of just sucking things in and then spitting them out or consuming them. Knowing how to do that now, you can do a lot of other things. Human, I know for a fact that the Game Boy Advanced SP had a backlight. I think you're correct that the original Game Boy Advance did not have one in the US. But the
Yeah, the one
SP
I remember.
definitely had a backlight because I still have an SP sitting around somewhere that I barely use, but I do have it.
Yeah, I feel like the Game Boy was such a good console too, but the backlight issues, you know, like
I remember, what was it? The Sega, the Game Gear. I just remember
mm-hmm.
technically it being better, but it just like destroyed batteries, so it didn't matter, and also didn't have as good of games.
Yeah,
But I
I
remember it
remember
being like
it was
I could see the screen.
it was more popular on the Asian countries like the East, but it didn't come off in the US. Like it didn't do well in the USA.
No, all right. So
It was like really advanced.
buffet night was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to switch back to looking at this map, and then I might do some more adjustments while you are here to help me know what I'm doing. Because then I'm going to learn all these new tricks, and I will be able to use them when I'm doing other things, like when I'm making. Like I want to try to do that same thing without you walking through me through it with these two tiles.
Ah, okay.
That way, we can have that thing of seeing if I learned anything. So I don't need this anymore.
I thought you were gonna adjust the wall. You want it to be darker, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna worry about that in a second. I shouldn't have closed it, but I'm going to worry about that in a second. So I'm just going to use this
Okay.
same thing and just delete out the. Why is my brain not working? All right. So the floor. That's the wrong one too. One day
It's
I will.
A5.
It's is it an LNA5?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's A5.
All right. So outside A5. All right, you are correct.
Yeah, they
So
put all the floor tiles in A5, so I'm like, yeah.
I. It's amazing again, and I've said this many times on stream, and I said this to you before we started when we were like waiting. Is that my IQ drops the moment that I start streaming? I no longer have a brain, none at
Yeah,
all.
you can no longer function.
So like I know that originally we could just try by seeing what auto color does, which that's very
No,
annoying.
you remove the regional color that you wanted. The railings?
But no, I want to match it to this.
Oh, okay, okay. what we did was like we took the color you want from that, and
Yeah,
then
well, I was saying, like, I knew originally we had tested doing
oh
it
yeah, yeah,
without it, but that was really not right. So you
yeah,
wanted
that was
to. So I need a
add
new
new
layer
layer.
here.
Yes, use the paper.
Yep, not going to do it. I'm going to do it wrong over and over again. So then we're going to do
Yep.
that. Then we have
Mm-hmm.
the color that I grabbed. So I'm going to put it on this layer.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to switch this to color. And
There you
then you
go.
did. It was auto color, right? I almost did
No, you
nothing
have to put it. No, you
because
have
I
to
was
put it
on
on
the
the layer.
wrong. I was selecting the wrong thing.
Yes.
Okay. It almost looks better right there.
Yeah, because what you can do is auto contrast. You can try that and see if you like it better.
No, I think the contrast
Nah.
is too much. But I
Yeah,
think
you can
that
stay there.
I think that that looks better. And back to then let's see. Oh, I need to merge my visible.
Yeah, you can just Control E if just want
Control
to
E.
do.
Oh,
Yeah.
wrong button. I was
See on
I
mine.
trying to hit Control S and hit Control V instead. I know my save one because that's like the same in every program. All right, now let's jump back forth. And yeah, those stairs look a whole lot better now. I still think. I think the problem is now because I was about to say it still looks a little bit wrong. I think that's because I think this needs to be darker. I think
Yeah, that's what I'm
actually
saying.
that this needs to be matched to that. But we're just going to instead just make it a little bit darker and see if that works.
Yeah, you could probably just do a color picker and then set color. To be honest.
Second. So it's outside A4. I'm just going to. So what you had said before was to just make you could just make a mask on a specific area, but that's not what I just did.
Oh, just select it first.
Yeah, select it
Yeah, and then
first
make
and
it.
then make the mask of it. I'm gonna try to do it.
Uh,
That was that
yeah, you
correct?
make a new folder.
Ah, yeah, that's what you did.
Yeah, a new folder and then mask it.
All right, cool. So now I can do adjustments and do.
You could
Okay, so
probably use curves or contrast in hue and saturation.
so I think just dropping the lightness down a little bit probably would help.
Yep. And then just control E the folder if you're done. Oh wait, what?
Oh, I did undo.
Oh, control Z. Sorry. And then control shift E then.
Control Shift E. Ah,
Yeah.
there we go. I think that I like that better. Let's see. And as per usual, it's just you go back and check over and over again. Oh, that looks much better.
Yeah, that's way better.
I really. It's so convenient to have someone who knows what they're doing. Because, like, the thing is, so, like, I know this is probably true of most people who do Photoshop stuff and artists and stuff, is you kind of learn as you go. But I'm assuming that a lot of people have also watched way more tutorials than I have that teach you
Um,
how to do some of the things.
I just did everything on my own. It's just I never really watched tutorials. I just learned what the program does, if that makes sense. I just played around with it and then I'm just like, oh okay.
Because of the fact that like Photoshop to me is something that I don't use regularly, I learn just enough to barely be able to do what I need to do with it.
Yeah, in my case, it's like actually I don't know how I learned about layers. I think I discovered it by accident. I was just like, what does a mask do? And then like I clicked it and then it just happened. I'm just like, oh, that makes sense. You know? Like,
Well, the thing is like I knew some about how to use masks and stuff, and most of the reason I knew how it was from where we were making a banner or something for one of
mm-hmm.
the sites, and you had already made some of the art for it.
Oh, yeah.
So I
I
saw
think I did.
yours, and I was like, okay, I understand how to make a mask, but I'd never used it to do that specific thing before. I had done
Yeah.
it. I was making a map for like a tabletop RPG thing, and I had two
Mm-hmm.
layers on top of each other, and I used the mask and then like a brush over it to like make paths where the second layer was what the pathing texture was.
Mm-hmm.
But I had never used it just to like make adjustments like that.
Well, to be honest, like I noticed like a lot of people don't really do that. Like, how do I say this? Like the modular way of working things is what this usually is, because it's like, in game art in general, they kind of encourage you to design your workflow that you can adjust everything. So destructive workflow is not a thing you do. So that's why, I just know that I have this muscle this, so I don't have to, figure this out again later and stuff like that.
It's always interesting to see how other people though do the same thing you do, because for instance, I can watch someone make all right. I think I've gotten to where all this is going to go together. I think I may be wrong. I know
I think
these
you're,
go here,
yeah.
but I think I have. Oh, wait, is that correct still too?
Yep, you're still correct.
Oh, and I just need to put the pieces here. What do I need? So that needs to be on 3, and then on 4 I need. And I need the ones here too. But no, every single time I watch other people do the same things I'm doing, I realize like occasionally it'll be something where it's like, okay, I still prefer the way I do it. But a lot of times I'll see someone do something and I'm like, why have I never been doing it that way? That's way faster. There's also the fact that I know these stairs are wrong. My stairs should be taller than that. Because otherwise these stairs make no sense. Because it has to be longer than the height of the wall, or it's nonsensical.
I think someone mentioned it earlier too, and then as
Yeah,
you were,
I
yeah.
never really thought hard about that, and then like once I read like one place where someone had mentioned how weird it looks if you don't do that, I realized how bad it looked on so many maps, and I'm just like, oh no. Because again, I feel so bad if I feel like I've made something just slightly wrong. That looks better. Though I really hate when they make the stairs go below the floor, though, because I don't think that looks correct. Like, no one does that. Like, if you were to build a house, you generally would start your stairwell, like, at the edge of where a corner of a wall is. You wouldn't extend your
Mhm.
stairs out past the wall itself. Except for in very, very specific situations. This is one of those things where uh, my previous job. This is going to sound very funny, but because of what I used to do, which I used to be a building contractor, there are a lot of small things that I see that I'm like, no one would ever actually do that, and it makes me angry. Um, I kind of wanted. I'm drawing this down here to grab pieces off of. I feel like this needs some kind of border.
Okay, because like, if you put the the stairs. It looks off, I guess, but it makes sense to me. It's like, but at the same time, it just doesn't look good on top down.
All right, so I know what I need. So I need to this out. Okay, let me see how. Yeah, I think that looks better. Like it needs like some kind of border there because when it like one thing that is very funny to me is how there are no door thresholds in any of the graphics I've ever seen for an RPG. And if you think about it, every door has thresholds, and you never see them. No one makes those. I don't know why, and it bothers me. And it shouldn't bother me as much as it does. Nope. I don't need to bother with the corners on this one because they're underneath that and no one can see. Okay. And now I'm hating that. I thought it looked good, but then I don't. Alright. Wow, we are almost to the next section of looking at one of the games, which I'm going to go ahead and do because if I stop, I'm going to forget that we were doing it. Change scenes, and we're going to talk about the actual top winner from the Touch the Stars Game Jam. Barry. I think I liked this one more than Archeia did. Also, have I lost Archeia?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay, thank God.
I think you cut out for a little bit.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
This Discord kicked me out.
Okay, well, you're back. It's fine. But as I was saying, we're going to look at Barry really quick. And I also mentioned that I think I liked it a little more than you did. But
Yeah.
I think that it was really ambitious to do what they did. Like, making an action game that even remotely feels good in RPG Maker is not easy. I know that he said that, or they, I don't know if it's a man or woman who made it. They said that it was a bunch of custom plugins that they wrote themselves.
Yeah, pretty sure they did custom ones for that because that's not possible with normal RPG Maker if you just don't do systematic changes.
Yeah, because like I mean, just pixel movement on its own is very difficult. For without making, like you're saying, very serious changes to how RPG Maker does things.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed it. I liked the map transitions. I thought they were really neat. Also, the the mechanic where you grab the fireballs. I just keep thinking about that because I mean, obviously, it's just done with something custom completely, but I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in RPG Maker.
I don't think you see it in games either. Like, uh, at least I can think of one.
Yeah, I really liked when it was like multiple, and so you had to like run from thing to thing and keep catching them on the next one.
Yeah, and you have to target multiple things with the
Yeah,
fireball.
I don't know. I also it has the most epic scene of learning how to jump I think I've ever seen in a game because it's in this scene right here because you don't know how to jump at this point when you're dodging all the fireballs, and then you learn how to jump, and it's a really neat drawn scene.
Wait, you can't jump? I remember being able to jump.
No, you can't jump at this point. You learn to jump during this scene.
I remember having a hard time with the water because I keep jumping around. But I don't know, maybe it's been a while.
But yeah, and the art's really cute. I like I said, I think it was just like a really ambitious project, and it works pretty. It worked pretty well. I know you said you had some problems with like floating, where you'd like
Hmm.
slide. Um,
Yeah, like the game itself is not bad. It's just that I'm very particular with auction games, so it's like it's very hard for me to enjoy them if I feel like I keep dying outside of my control, I guess.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It may be something to do with like the exact way that I felt comfortable moving in the game that I didn't have a lot of problems with the sliding.
Mm.
Um, but also I think that like he hit a good challenge level with a lot of the stuff. I think some of it was harder than I could do. I did not beat the game, but I know several people did, and so that tells me that the difficulty's probably fine.
Yeah, the difficulty is fine. It's just getting used to the controls. It kind of depends on the person. Like that's always like a problem.
Well, I generally
Actually,
feel like if
but
I can't beat something, but other people are like multiple people are saying they've beaten it, I'm like, okay, so it was just I'm bad at it. My problem was the second boss. The one thing I would suggest to him if he does any more work on it is that some of the bosses needed like because it's basically a one hit die game. They needed some checkpoints in some of the bosses because
oh yeah,
when I got like 3/4 through a boss and then die, I'm just like, oh no. And start all the way back from the beginning. And I know that some of the Dark Souls players out there are just going to tell me that I am weak, but that's fine. Um, which I'm not a fan of Dark Souls, and I know that makes a lot of people very angry. But
no, it's okay. You're not the only one. We can be hating on together. Well, the way I dislike Dark Souls is completely different from yours. Uh, but yeah,
I don't even know. Like I know why I dislike Dark Souls, but it's also that thing of like I want so much to like. It was specifically Bloodborne was the one that I really wanted to like because I love the art, and I just could not get into that game. But it is what it is. I did like Sekiro though.
Sekiro was like the easiest to get in, but the lesser death one. Then I actually like Bloodborne, but that's like everything about that game's like aesthetic. It's like oh yeah, this game speaks to me.
I have this problem right now, and is sitting here, and it's like it feels like that should be up here, but then when I do it, it feels like it's too high. I almost feel like it needs to be. I know what the problem is. I know exactly what the problem is. I need a.
Half tile.
I need basically the corner to be on this corner and nothing else. So I'd have to edit that. Just like grab just the top and put it in the bottom corner here, and then do like that. So I'm doing this correctly. So like do this, and then grab just the top corner of one of these and put it in the. I'm going to do that now before my brain makes me. Also, it's because if I do it now, don't have to think about it and do it later. Okay, so that's an inside C, which I already had open. All right, what do I not need in here? I do not need these.
The dolls.
All right, so I just need to zoom in and grab just the top corner. Are they identical? Yes, they are. So I don't have to like grab different ones. All right, where did I just Control V that? I'm assuming I put it on top of where it originally was. Yes, I did. And then just drop that down. And whoop. All right, where'd
You
I?
can duplicate a layer by Control J.
Hold on. I know what I need to do. I'm just going to hide this layer to find where this one went. There it went. And then I can just merge it down. Okay. And reload the maps. There they are. Alright, that was what it needed. It needed to be like just that ever bit higher because it should be like right on the edge of it, attaching to the wall. And now I'm trying to think of, so I can put some more windows up here. That looks wrong. I think it's because the height is just a little bit odd. Like it needs a little bit more height on it. And I could raise the whole thing, but I don't really feel like that needs to be done either. If it was just one lower, how would that look? Nope. I constantly feel like mapping is just putting things down and saying no a lot.
Doesn't look nice. Redo.
Nope, nope. Control Z is the best tool when mapping. Okay, so because like this is all the flow of this is like you come in here. Here is blocked until you visit all of these scenes because it's like flashback scenes. And then you come to here, up the stairs, and there's like flashback scenes here and here as well. Then you go out. Then you come up here, and then like final boss room is up here. So I think this is structured correctly. Did I ever show you the where I drew how I think of maps rather than like how I draw them this way?
I don't think so.
It was I basically draw it just like a flowchart.
Oh, okay.
And because like everything is just a series of rooms with things between them and branches. It's like, okay, so like if you have a forest map and it goes like this and it squiggles back and forth, that's still a straight line.
Yeah, I get you.
So I always like a lot of times I will draw out before I start how the process of going through the map is and then start drawing it. I'm hating
I kind of do the same. I kind of do the same thing, but I I just draw a huge picture, because I'm too lazy to use flowcharts.
I use flowcharts for like everything. I really like flowcharts. I think
it's mostly like the squiggly lines. It bothers me. I don't know if it's because I'm an artist, but it's like I can never get them right to like look right to me. So I keep like, I'm just gonna draw it.
yeah, this is the whole thing of like even with like there's some things that are actually still faster to do with pencil and paper for me. And one of those is drawing flowcharts because there are programs for doing it, but like none of them I feel are as fast as I can draw a flowchart by hand.
Mm-hmm.
Which I did one for the encounter system, which I'm pretty sure I can tighten it up just a little bit. but at least it looks better than it did. I still need to finish up the last of it. I might actually wrap up a little bit early today because I am staring at this map and something about it I'm trying to figure out. I know what I need to do. This is one of the things I do is just grab a notepad, which needs to be way smaller. I don't know what I was writing that I needed a notepad this big for. And look around the map and think of what I need to add to it that I don't have tiles for. I can put some let me put some statues in. That would look good. I don't know if that location looks good. I think also like some outdoor benches, like some stone benches would look good. And I don't think we have any of those in what I have. It may be in one of the other MV Trinity tiles sets that I'm not familiar with and I can go look for later, so I'm going to just write that down.
There's so many tile sets there that you're gonna take forever to find anything.
They're all over the place, and like there's so many tiles in MV Trinity on top of just like so many pieces that you can use. So just some outdoor benches. Maybe like some planters or something. I don't think I have any of those in this set, but I believe there are some in there as well. And if not, I could probably edit some planters together. Just something to make the outside of this look better. I still don't know what else could I think this is like one of the more challenging types of maps for me. The exterior of a big building, because interior is easy because you can break it up with carpeting, which you would never use outdoors. And you have all the different things that you put inside something, like bookshelves and tables and chairs. And like a kitchen and all this kind of stuff. Whereas the exterior of a building is just, what do people put there? In real life, I put a barbecue grill there, but I don't think that matches the aesthetic here. Just gonna have some hamburgers and hot dogs.
It's gonna be difficult for you because it's like, I don't think are used in exterior stuff for stuff like this. They're usually very general, right? I mean, you could put lanterns. I mean, those lampposts or whatever.
Yeah, you could put some kind of like some kind of lighting. That's actually a good idea. So like, can't remember what lighting is in this. I don't think I would want to use lampposts because I've been using more like I've been using fire.
I think they have an exterior fire thing, right?
They do, but I don't see it on this, so I'm just going to mark it as another thing I'm going to
Maybe it's in dungeon.
It may be in dungeon. But that is something good to think about. What else can I add?
Well, are you gonna add trees on the sides?
Well, I need to do all of the stuff down here. Because this is actually probably going to be kind of wastelandy, like this map down here. Because it's an extension of what is going on here. So I need to put some more things below it where it's at, but
Are there people out there, or do you not want?
No, I wasn't gonna put anybody out there. My problem is that like I think I'm limiting myself in some ways with my design while also making it easier. Like I said, everything is kind of dreamlike, so it doesn't have to match. Everything doesn't have to match. Everything doesn't have to, you know, behave entirely like it should. But at the same time, Um, it limits it because there aren't people and stuff like that around, except for the
Because otherwise, I would suggest stables, but this is above a mountain, so it's
yeah.
like. I don't think a fortress usually doesn't have much except soldiers, so I think you're
Yeah, yeah.
probably
It,
fine.
it it's it can be kind of empty-ish. I could put some like some fortification stuff. Maybe some spears against the wall or something like that.
Hmm.
Like let's see, I just put weapon racks, see if I can find any of those somewhere or edit some together. Oh, something like that. That was what I was thinking of. I could also break some symmetry with stuff like that too. But you know what? I have I have burned my brain. I'm gonna be back next Wednesday. You will not be, but that's okay. I appreciate you
It's
coming and
okay.
hanging out with me for a little under 2 hours. It's nice
Yeah,
to have
take a
somebody to
break.
talk to.
You're welcome. Thanks for having.
Also, it's nice to have someone who can tell me all the things that I don't know about Photoshop, which is most everything.
Yeah,
Especially, it really did help with the
they,
recolors. I really like how fast and easy it was to do these recolors, and they look really good next to each
yeah,
other.
at least you can do it faster now next time. Like.
Yeah, and then like I can do any recolor I want very fast.
Mhm.
But I'm going to switch to my closing image when I can. So see you next time, which you don't get to see because I'm streaming to you directly. But thank you everyone who came to watch. Wrath, Neo, BG, Mike, Human, Orochi. I'm scrolling up to see. Video Wizard was here. If I missed
Human.
you, oh, Marc Andre was here. If I missed you, it was still good to see you as well. It was good to be back streaming. I'm going to do my best to be back next Wednesday and the Wednesday after. We're going to try to do. My goal is to make sure I get 4 weeks in a row without messing up. 3 was the most I
Um,
did before. So, have a good day, everyone. Thank you again for showing up. Thank you, Archeia, for talking to me. Do you have anything you would like to say in goodbye?
oh, okay. Thanks everyone for joining in, and I hope you also learned new things.